Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Tom Spark. Welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about how you may have bought the wrong VPN provider. So guys, in this video, we're going to be talking about some of the common mistakes I see. People buying the wrong VPN, buying it for the wrong reasons, seeing something they saw on YouTube and listening to that advice. A lot of this stuff is I've seen people come to my server, ask me questions, 10 seconds leave, 20 seconds later get banned because I tell them something they don't want to hear, then they just spurg out. But regardless of that, guys, we're going to be covering 6 different things about how you might have bought the wrong VPN provider. Now, guys, if you didn't know, I'm really one of the only objective reviewers out there, which you can find my rankings at vpntierlist.com. Check the rankings. I recommend using an A-tier VPN. So check on these, click on these links to get discounts. Click on the numbers to check out the reviews. And here's a quick word from our sponsor. Are you guys ever worried about getting doxxed? I know I am, and that's why I use a service like Incogni to make sure no one can find my IRL information if they find my name. A service like Incogni goes through all the available data brokers out there like white pages and these different websites. It will tell these websites to remove your information and it saves you tons of time. Use my link in the description down below to get 50% off Incogni as you see here on this website to get this deal. This is my top rated data broker removal tool. It's around half the price of competing services like Delete Me and it has a better interface to boot. So thanks for checking out this one and let's get back to the video. All right, guys, so let's get into the first thing. I think one of the most common things, it's not that common, but I do see it, is that people are really worried about like self-hosted servers. I've had a couple of people come to my server. They say, hey, like I'm using Azure VPN. It's the only VPN that owns every one of its servers. Okay, great. Why is that an advantage?
Tom, you don't know what you're talking about with VPNs. I only use VPNs that own every server. Does that mean my speed goes from 1 gigabits to a measly 200 megabits? So what? Go fuck yourself.
Really, when you're choosing a VPN, you want to choose a VPN that has the most amount of servers. Chances are that means you're going to have servers closer to your location, and that means you're going to get optimal speeds. If you're using a VPN like Azure VPN that hosts their own servers, they're going to have a lot less, and they're not going to be able to perform as well as the other VPNs out there. There's a reason why the biggest VPNs in the world don't own all their servers, and in fact, even some VPNs like NordVPN lately, which is one of the fastest VPNs I've tested, does have virtual server locations in places it can't really get servers set up in data centers. So it's not really a disadvantage. It's actually an advantage to choose a VPN that actually has a different combination of servers to optimize speeds for the network. Additionally, you don't want the network being bogged down or anything like that, giving you slower speeds. So that's definitely something you need to think about. Next up, I would say that a lot of people care too much about things being open source and stuff like that when it comes to VPNs.
Hey Tom, just calling in. Great channel, by the way. I only use open source VPNs because I do consulting part-time, and the other half of the time I'm a part-time hacker. Just a message from one of your friends on the server, name's Genry.
Who the hell's that? Now, there's really a couple different VPNs that really brag about this all the time, that being Molvad, iVPN, and kind of like Windscribe. However, open source doesn't necessarily mean the VPN is the most secure. It just means that the VPN is more transparent about their code offering or the client offering, which is good. That said, it's mostly just with the client. It's not showing anything super serious about the VPN security. That said, we've even seen instances of stuff like Windscribe having open source code getting ridiculed on Twitter for having severe vulnerabilities inside that code. And yeah, so just because something's open source doesn't mean that it's perfectly secure. It just means that that VPN provider is being a little bit more transparent with their code offering. That said, there are a lot of VPNs out there that don't have open source code and they have secure platforms, and maybe they're just doing it that way because they don't want to, for example, a couple of VPNs I know off the top of my head, they have some stealth solutions and stuff like that, VPN unblocking solutions, and they don't have open source for that reason. Maybe some VPNs don't want other VPNs to copy their client. A lot of the VPNs that don't have open source, like Nord and Surfshark, for example, you can tell they put a lot of money into their clients and they have some interesting features in there, and they might not want other VPNs to copy them with those features. So that's something to think about. I would say comparing, instead of open source being like the most important thing, Stuff like no-log audits can be very helpful for transparency. Seeing the streaming capabilities of how many servers you can unlock with that VPN, server uptime, server load on the servers, the amount of servers, the speeds you can get. These kind of things are good metrics to see if a VPN is right for you. Next up, I would say another thing I see that people choose a VPN for is if that VPN doesn't have an affiliate program. At the end of the day, this is kind of silly because when you're choosing a VPN, you should choose it based on the speed, application, its compatibility, and stuff like that. You shouldn't be choosing based on the way the VPN has its marketing done. At the end of the day, as a customer, it doesn't really matter to you. What's more important is how big the VPN can get, how much development resources it can acquire. And in my opinion, as long as they're doing it ethically, it doesn't really matter how a VPN is making the money as long as they're doing it ethically. So when people are white knighting various VPNs because they don't have affiliate programs or something like that, it's just kind of silly. And you could tell they've kind of diving down the rabbit hole too much. Part of the reason is because there's a couple of VPNs out there that don't have affiliate programs that are definitely kind of losing customers, probably not as big as they once were, comparing themselves to other VPNs that do have affiliate programs. Well, suffice to say, the biggest VPNs out there that have the most valued money, have the most development resources, the most servers, all of them have affiliate programs. In fact, I thought it would be interesting to see the effectiveness of the affiliate model and if it really is a good, effective model for companies to use. If you look here, you can see both Nord and Surfshark are two VPNs that probably have some of the biggest affiliate programs. And as you can see, these companies are much, much bigger than some other competitors out there that do not have affiliate programs. So, if someone is saying affiliate programs are bad, well, it clearly doesn't seem to be working and not having them, especially when you compare the sizes of these different companies. An effective affiliate program can be very effective for VPNs to attain more customers and thus get more money and then spend more money on more development and have a better VPN overall. I would say one other kind of reason you could have bought the wrong VPN is that maybe you fell victim to marketing. Now, this is a very broad subject and VPNs often market to customers in different ways. I think there was a couple examples of VPNs getting in trouble for saying, like, if you were in a public cafe, the internet was pretty much just like hacked out of the wazoo or something like that. But that is not really necessarily the case, especially if you're connecting to a specific connection and you're connecting to SSL encrypted websites, which is most of them nowadays. But VPNs can still protect you in public Wi-Fi in certain circumstances. But that said, buying a VPN, I've seen a lot of people buy a VPN. They don't even know if they need it. So you might have bought the wrong VPN because you saw an ad, but not necessarily because it's right for you. That's why I made the tier list. And that's kind of the foundation model of the tier list, is that you could choose a VPN that's right for you. So I think that's a good place to end this video, guys. I'll see you in the next one very soon. Make sure to check out the tier list and my link from Incogni down below, and I'll see you again very soon.